What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Let's do a quick screen share. My trading view is like slower. I don't know. Slower to load today. But we got Alan in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Amy, Andy, Andrew, Bill, Dan's in the house. Good morning to Drake, Joe, John, Keith, Kevin, Lou. Lucia's in the house. Good morning to Lydia, Martina, Natalie, Rick, Shane, Tim. Virginia's in the house. All my people out on YouTube land, hostile. Bijal, Joe. Good morning to you guys. I think we got TradingView finally ready to load. Hopefully it's not a slow. Hopefully it's not a slow moving TradingView today, but we will see. Other than that, yeah. Are we opening at all-time highs? I think I think we are very close to it. So SPY doing what the Qs were doing yesterday. We're like a day behind. 1 day behind. Um, now what? What do you guys want to do now? I don't know. We've already accomplished what what we didn't know just about a month ago if it was even possible, and we got there. So here's the turning point. This is where we either just crush absolutely higher. We still have a lot of money sitting on the sidelines, but we have the Qs at all-time highs. We have SPY at all-time highs. I've got no levels ahead of me as far as how far we go. What I do know is we are hitting all-time highs with a pretty powerful gap. Obviously, today's Friday, so you're gonna have some options expiring. Not many, nothing too crazy, but it is also a retest gap. So will we close the day as a retest gap? I don't know. I've heard, I've got a bunch of texts from people, some couple conversations I had with people. Some people are buying some puts. Not a bad play. If you have especially if you have a long-term portfolio, if you have any kind of other positions, maybe you want to look to take some gains to or at least lock in some gains by or having some insurance by having some puts. I get that. I don't see a reason yet. So uh, we this is a good move. I think we go higher from here. Again, once you have these gap ups, we might not finish at all time high or at all time highs today. I have no idea, but look for some kind of support around 611.43. I'm gonna wait for the momentum to try to change. I'm gonna look for either let this market gap down. If you're fine, if you're long and you're like, yeah, I think we go higher from here, then you're not sweating anything. But if you're like, we're kind of high, we're at that level again. Once and the further we go, the more uncomfortable the longs become, and then you're trying to short things maybe too quickly. But wait for this little consolidation, at least for that pullback. Wait for it's okay, honestly, if we get that black swan event and that the market does the market does give us that random gap down and trapping people. We might not be able to get in at the very top, but I think if you're putting on shorts a little too soon, again, if you want insurance, it's fine. But if you're taking it as a play, wait for something to set up. Wait for that black swan if it's going to be that, and then yeah, we're not going to get the top, but we'll still have a large amount of money to make on the downside. So I'm still going to lean long. This is a good gap. I think we go higher from here. First level, we'll give you two on the SPY. My first level is going to be 612.27. We'll see if we can hold that for today. That is the actual VPOC from that last little pivot. And then I'm watching for 611.45. Again, I have no targets to the higher side. So it's just just gonna be higher from here, I guess. We'll check out the cues. But I'd want to stay long, maybe not the very first 3 minutes, although that has been the play. We'll see what happens. Otherwise, we got Qs, they opened and closed at all-time highs yesterday. We are opening again at all-time highs. This is going to be probably a record that repeats itself. You got 546.30 is going to be your support from yesterday. We'll see if we could hold that. It is a retest gap. We most likely probably come down into that zone, and then we'll see if we could hold on to that support. BTC, USD. Bitcoin is still hanging out. 2 day consolidation. I don't. Fridays I feel like a little bit weird sometimes on Bitcoin. Like Thursday, Friday don't really move too much, and then the weekend because the market's closed, you get good push. So either today or over the weekend, watch this 107, 637. If we could break through that, we have 109, 668. Again, we're not at all time highs. This is a little bit lagging the rest of the markets, but it's actually not. We just got to all time highs first, and we're just consolidating. So we'll see what happens here. But next level up would be 109, 566, and then you got a couple more. But that would be the first sign that it's possible for Bitcoin to again make an all-time high. Drake says, "Welcome to all-time highs." I know it's honestly, if and I was calling for last week, so I was off by 4 trading days. It's kind of rough timing, but it is what it is. Amazon, but if yeah, 2 months ago, if I'm like, yeah, we're probably gonna hit all-time highs in a month, you guys be like, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. Amazon looks like it has all momentum to it so far. Uh, I would have set a good resistance on this one, somewhere around 218.48, and we are opening above it. So if we do pull back, which it is a retest gap, I'm looking for that one to 218.48 as opposed to even coming in to this 217.35. I don't think we should hit that one today. But if we do break through that, then the next spot you are looking is the retest of yesterday fully. Otherwise, in a longer term sense, well, in the short term sense, I don't have anything till like 223.03, so I think that's still going to be a fire play for today. Other than that, there's a couple levels, but we've been through all of these before, so it's probably a little bit easier to get these taken out. I'm looking for this two. I'm gonna look for about 223. 223 for targets today. We're gonna move that one a little bit higher. Let's see how quickly TradingView wants to do this. It took forever before. It's waking up a little bit. Nice. Boeing. Boeing is it's okay. It's not here yet in terms of what I'm about to say, but if we obviously have a wide open gap up here. A lot of people are going to be targeting probably just right on the 215. That's a longer term play, not maybe a swing trade up to that to the range, but for right now, the one thing you want to watch for that it doesn't turn into, and this I think is a little potential, is that next rollover. So I think we do go a little bit higher from here. Today's a retest gap. See if this one wants to pull back a tad, maybe not even that much. You're actually above some good resistance as well. Maybe a small high wave candle, and then if it does break down, I would let this thing fully come to like 202.89. Your targets on this one to the higher side is 209.31. So that's going to be a huge level. If we do get that head and shoulders on Boeing, we get up to that 209.31. That would be a very good retest spot where I think people take a lot of gains. Other people are going to be waiting for here. So we'll see if that one ever closes. But if you get that head and shoulders, that's where it comes in. If we start breaking that 231, then more likely you're coming up to this zone right into there, and then that head and shoulders a little bit off the table at that point. So we'll see. CCL chips don't seem to be doing too well this morning. They had an absolutely incredible week. Yeah, just flip that chart over to the weekly, and then the moves they're making. Yeah, it's not super strong today, but they're still strong on the weekly. They were the first ones to do it. All right, we got Carnival Cruise. Looks pretty good. Also retest gap, but also a phenomenal location for this one. High wave candle, maybe. Got Tessie on the other screen coming down a little bit. Um, yeah, it is technically retest gap. I don't think that one fully retest. Yeah, actually no, that was a better close than it is open today. I'm gonna wait for that one to retest as well, 26.19, or else probably not gonna touch it. You're opening right into your next resistance. If we do climb above 266.44, then my next target takes me to about 26.93, but starting to get a little congested up in the zone. You got Intel, INTC. I actually had a weird dream last night that Intel was at $66 this morning. Obviously did not come true. So it was it wasn't foreshadowing, I guess. Intel looks a little bit still decent. We had a strong pivot, really actually good open. Yeah, not yet. Not yet. Mm. Uh 22.55 if we get a little pullback. That should have been the previous resistance. We struggled there the last 3 days. Yeah, you guys have like weird dreams sometimes of like stocks like at certain prices. Is that just a me thing? I don't know. Every now and then. And then I wake up, I'm like, I can't believe I can't believe AMD is at $700 this morning. And then I'm like, oh, never mind. Yeah, Intel is yeah, that's a really, really good gap on Intel. The only thing I'd be worried about is that 200. So maybe we get a small little pullback, see if you get that 22.57. If I set, I was going to set the alert, but it's going to go off right at the opening because it's going to say that we're gapping above it. Um, Intel, I like this one a lot for a potential swing trade. And if anything is true with if dreams do become realities, $66 would be your target on this one, just based on nothing, based on absolutely nothing. You got that 200. This is setting up. This is a lot of consolidation. You got bulls starting to step in. I'm in it with some calls. I got the $15 strikes. I think January of 2027 I have sitting, just sitting. So we'll see if that we'll see if we can finally start getting some closes. And even that, we've had close above the 200. We just sank below it, but this is higher highs into it. I like it as a swing. Day trade, I'm not sure where we go. If we get past that 200 today. But it is looking very interesting on Intel. Let's see, we got Tesla. So Tesla, I see on the other screens throwing in some rando. Mm, Rando red candles. Still kind of in the struggle boss. Yeah, so we drew out a line in the sand yesterday. 325.38. We're at 325.48. So 10 cents higher than where we have to be. And that might be a little aggressive on where I drew the line. The big lines are down here. 322. Anything past 322, I'd start to get a little more nervous. Otherwise, we're hanging out. Yesterday was a very weird day, and then all night, yes, we're just in. I don't think I've seen Tesla ever this consolidated, where a full day, and that first candle looked absolutely beautiful. It looked like it wanted to run, and then just did absolutely nothing. There was some news throughout the day. We had an executive part ways with Tesla. We had some news that they were circulating around that actually was from yesterday. But in terms of volume, big key spot. Look for resistance around 327.83, at least on a smaller time frame. That's going to be where all that volume was coming in from yesterday. Unfortunately, we're below it, so Tessie does look a little bit weak. We'll see where that opening candle comes in. If they do want to bounce this thing up, great. Otherwise, it does look a little bit weak today, and we'll see if some of the bigger daily time frames want to hold this thing. We've bounced a lot off of 322.96. What I don't like on that level now is the fact we've been there a few times. So Tessie's going to need an emergency green candle at open to keep us alive, but even that, it's been just absolutely. Joe says, "Don't think I've ever seen Tesla stay inside the first 3 minute candle the whole day." Yeah, lots of consolidation. And again, it makes sense. It is at a good level on a daily where we could get some kind of bounce, but we took two ferocious down days to get there, so not terrific. Hymns, you got you got a lot of questions on Tesla if Tesla's gonna break that level or we get that bounce. Hymns we have still looks really good. Yeah, if guys are selling puts on Hymns, you're probably decently happy. You're into a zone right now where you just got a little volume, nothing too crazy, but 48.14 is your next big level. If you get past that one, you start breaking out some additional volume. Big level on this one. Watch for, let's see if we get an exact price, 47.01. If we get through that, you have your psychological level. That's going to be somewhere right around 48.30. And we got $50.49 would be your next target. So very close into that first resistance. If we can get to a psychological level, really the next spot takes you to about $50.66. And then this all being Hims retail, love the stock. Maybe that momentum comes in, but looks good. I'd be cautious at open, see if you get a little pullback, see if it could hold 45.90 if it could. That's probably the closer you get to that, the better to get into that one. TTD, good gap up. Not a great candle. Actually, yesterday's candle was actually pretty fantastic. All things considered. Uh, this candle at open looks horrifically weak. Actually, the open wasn't even that bad. Where this thing was sitting pre-market was not great. We were below all that volume, all that zone. We did drop. It looked like it was going to just sell. We did. Bull showing a little strength. Came back in, and then not only closing above the first little resistance, but now you have a hammer sitting there. You got a good wick on it. It is a retest gap for today. I'm not sure if that closes. Big resistance on this one would have taken us to 69.82, and we're gapping above that. I'd still expect a little bit of a pullback. See if you come in as close as possible to that 69.82. I'll set the alert, but I think it's going to go off right as soon as the bell rings. But that looks decent. And again, if you're in it for a swing trade, now that becomes a trap. Something that really shouldn't look like a green hammer yesterday did show that there's a little strength. And now watch, maybe we don't even get down to this one. This is your next resistance. We're opening right at it. So it depends on where this one opens. $70.64. Bigger volume really takes us up to like 73.41. A couple levels in between. So it's not the cleanest trade, but as a swing trade, very potential. We definitely have some bulls coming in. The further this one comes down, if you're looking for a swing trade on this one, my stop would be right under that hammer. 65.51. Bulls incredible yesterday. The fact that they could hold that candle up and make it look the way it is, and now you're getting some follow through. So uh swing trade stops under there. The lower you can get into this trade, the better. But yeah, I think it's showing at least a little bit of bullish sentiment, which I like. SERV. Yeah, you guys have been looking at this one in Slack. I've noticed this one coming around. I think was it Cindy the first one? I think Cindy, you might have been the pioneer on throwing this name out there. Now I see everyone talking about serve, so we'll give you full credit. And if I'm wrong, if somebody else said it first, I'm still giving it to Cindy. Sorry, that's just how this works. But maybe somebody else will call out another one, and I'll give you that credit. That's how that will work. We got serve is yeah, and a lot of people looking at this one in a bullish direction for a swing trade. You do have a beautiful inverted head and shoulders. You broke out. Um, I would like to see in full transparency. I would love to see a nice little fib retracement for better entry. And honestly, that is your 50. So no, that's off the table. It already at least hit that 50% retracement. Getting a nice little gap up today. See if this one wants to pull back. $11.32 as a swing trade. Maybe. Maybe. And I did not see what Johnny was saying, so I don't know how far off I am from him. But if you get that 11.24 as an entry, maybe going down to like a 9.50-ish as your stop, something like that. Gives you about $1.70, and you have more than enough room for 2 hours, especially if your bigger resistance $12.94. So I'll put target here for now, but that's not based off of any calculations. It's just next resistance. It's looking fairly strong. We might be able to break out of that. Your next target after that takes you to $13.43. We've been there a few times, and I think your next target probably takes you to $16.12. So that would be a much better target right in that zone if we clear the short term. That's well more than 2 hours. I like it. I like that as a swing. I don't know how this one day trades, so I don't know how how decent this move is going to be for today, and obviously the stop's not going to be down at 950 if we're taking a day trade on it. But yeah, looks fairly good. LAES. All right, we got Seal SQ. This one I've never looked at. Looks like we got momentum in the bullish side. You've got a little volume ahead of you. We got to watch out for. That's going to be $5.07. However, most of that volume is below you. Your key level in this one is $3.51, so you're not going to want to see that one break. It is below $5, so I'm not going to take this as a day trade, but as a swing, it also has potential. There's your nice little S curve on it. Looks like we're starting to perk up. Probably targets on this one. We'll take you to that $8.24. And if I do that math correctly, 825 by subtract the opening price, it's almost about 100% return. A little off, but very close to it. So I'm gonna add this one to my list actually. This might be an interesting one to look at. Day trading again, a little tough on it. Swing trading, no problem. That looks good. I'm gonna put this one pretty high on the list just so I don't forget about it. And then we'll see if we get some pullbacks on that one. All right. Let's see. Cindy says it is pretty. Dan says pretty sure it was Cindy. Yep. AV. That was another one that's been moving as of late. Fantastic gap up. All the momentum in the world, gapping to all-time highs. Absolutely fantastic. Would be more fantastic if we were buying it at 191. Now you're at 283. So quite the move on this one already. You're up a lot, but that is really good momentum. Gap up, good follow through. You're coming into a Friday. It's a retest gap. There's probably a lot of bulls in this thing. Maybe it goes higher. I wouldn't. For me, I wouldn't be jumping in this thing now. I'd want a significant pullback, probably for me to get in with really good risk reward. 237.12. Not sure if I ever get in. At some point, I think I will. But other than that, you got 268.22 would be your actual retest spot for today if you want to try to play it as a day trade. Palantir PLTR. Hmm. Hmm. Palantir. Obviously, I'm gonna have to throw the just sentiment in a bullish direction. It's not a bad open. You're opening higher than yesterday's VPOC. So on this one, maybe you get a small pullback, 144.40. That's what you want to see hold today. And then to the moon is your target for Palantir. We'll see. But yeah, I like that one. That could actually be a very sneaky one for today, but I like it bullish. Targets, I got no real targets, but 147.76. That's good psychological level. Getting up into the higher range of yesterday's candle. SMCI got different calls from 43 to 60 in August and January, up overall about 15%. Nice job, Andrew. Let's check it out. SMCI. That one's been perking up a little bit. Yep. You got one inside day. Cool. Two strong days to follow. You have nothing holding you back at this point. Those calls look, I think those calls go up higher than 15%. Uh, I think you have a target into 53.81. This would also be a good day trade for today too, if we could get a little pullback. So give me like 48.96. Give me a small move after two strong days, and that might be a play. Let's check out AMD. Since AMD is not opening with a even, yeah, not who said it's not looking that strong? I forget. Who was that person? It is still a gap and go for today. Yesterday was a retest gap. You're opening above your VPOC today. I'd still be bullish on AMD. You got 143.60 would be your support. If that does break down, you got 143.11. All of yesterday was. Yep, there is the alert off the bell. But everybody in YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. Unfortunately, that is the morning bell. Next week, we got I think a short week. We got a 4-day week.